For centuries, tales of Cleopatra's beauty have been whispered through the corridors of time, casting her as a beguiling siren whose allure captivated two of Rome's most powerful leaders, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. But what if the legends have veiled the true essence of Cleopatra? Imagine a narrative not of a mere seductress, but of a formidable strategist, diplomat, and orator. Her true strength lay not in her physical allure, but in her unparalleled intellect and charisma. Let us peel back the layers of myth to reveal the woman behind the legend. Born in 69 BCE, Cleopatra was a scion of the Ptolemaic dynasty. A family of Macedonian Greek origin had ruled Egypt since the time of Alexander the Great. Contrary to the romanticized depictions of her as a goddess of beauty, historical sources suggest a more nuanced portrait. The Roman historian Plutarch, writing more than a century after her death, admits that her beauty, in the conventional sense, was not outstanding. Instead, her charm and charisma were irresistible. It was her voice and her intellect that entranced those around her. Fluent in multiple languages, Cleopatra was a polyglot who could converse with diplomats and scholars from various cultures without the need for a translator. In a time when women were rarely afforded the opportunity to wield power, she stood apart as a ruler. She could engage in political discourse with the shrewdest of her male counterparts. Her education was not only a testament to her royal upbringing, but also to her personal dedication to the arts and sciences. She pursued her education with vigor. Cleopatra was known to have been well-versed in mathematics, philosophy, astronomy, and literature. These fields were dominated by men in her era. Her intelligence was matched by her strategic acumen. Cleopatra's reign was marked by political turbulence, a chessboard of alliances, betrayals, and power struggles. She navigated these treacherous waters with a deftness that would leave an indelible mark on history. One of her most audacious moves was her daring alliance with Julius Caesar. In the winter of 48 BCE, facing deposition, Cleopatra is said to have had herself smuggled into Caesar's presence, wrapped in a carpet or a bedroll, depending on the account. This bold act was not merely a plea for help, but a calculated maneuver. She aimed to align herself with Rome's power corridor, securing her throne and Egypt's sovereignty. Cleopatra's relationship with Caesar was as much a political alliance as it was a personal one. Together, they had a son, Ptolemy XV or Philopator Caesar, known as Caesarion. Cleopatra positioned Caesarion as Caesar's legitimate heir, a move designed to fortify her position. After Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE, Cleopatra's survival depended on her ability to maintain political influence. She found a new ally in Mark Antony, a member of the Second Triumvirate and a formidable general. Their relationship, often romanticized, was underpinned by mutual ambition and political necessity. They sought to consolidate power against their rival, Octavian. Beyond her political machinations, Cleopatra's charisma was legendary. She was a master of the art of presentation, adept at crafting her image to suit the occasion. Her arrival in Tarsus to meet Antony is a case in point. Cleopatra staged an entrance reminiscent of the goddess Aphrodite. The spectacle was designed to dazzle and seduce, to assert her power and divine association. Such theatricality was not mere vanity, it was a tool of statecraft, in a world where perception often dictated reality. As we trace the contours of Cleopatra's life, we find a ruler who defied the constraints of her gender and era. Her voice, described as mellifluous and persuasive, was her true weapon, capable of swaying hearts and minds. Whether addressing her subjects or negotiating with Roman dignitaries, she wielded language with precision. Her charisma was not just in what she said, but in how she said it, transforming even the most mundane dialogues into enchanting orations. In the grand tapestry of history, Cleopatra emerges not merely as a figure of beauty, but as a beacon of intelligence and charisma, a testament to the multifaceted power of a ruler who could command loyalty and stir passion with a mere whisper. Yet her story is far from over. Hidden beneath the sands of time are more secrets waiting to be uncovered, more truths waiting to be told as we continue our journey into the life of Egypt's last queen. Cleopatra's story is one of constant evolution, a narrative woven with threads of power, intrigue, and the relentless pursuit of legacy. As we delve further into her life, we uncover not only her political savvy, but also her ability to weave together alliances and consolidate power in a male-dominated world. A ruler of immense intellect, Cleopatra understood the importance of aligning with powerful figures and the necessity of presenting herself as an equal to the rulers of Rome. Her alliance with Mark Antony, formed in 41 BCE, was not merely a romantic entanglement, but a strategic partnership that would shake the foundations of the ancient world. Antony, a key figure in the power struggles of Rome, was captivated by Cleopatra's charisma and political acumen. Their union was one of mutual benefit. Antony needed Cleopatra's wealth to fund his military campaigns, while Cleopatra sought his military prowess to secure her reign and protect Egypt's interests. Together, they envisioned a new world order, a realm where the East could stand toe-to-toe with Rome. Cleopatra's vision was not confined to the political sphere. She aspired to restore the grandeur of Egypt, positioning Alexandria as a center of culture, learning, and power. Under her patronage, Alexandria became a flourishing hub of intellectual and artistic activity, attracting scholars, artists, and philosophers from across the known world. The Great Library of Alexandria, already a beacon of knowledge, thrived under her rule, serving as a testament to her commitment to cultural and intellectual excellence. Cleopatra's ability to inspire loyalty was legendary. Her court was a reflection of her strategic brilliance, populated by a diverse array of advisors and generals who were bound to her by loyalty, respect, and fear. She was a master of court politics, adept at playing factions against each other to maintain her grip on power. Her advisors included some of the sharpest minds of the age, whose counsel helped her navigate the treacherous waters of regional and international politics. However, Cleopatra's reign was not without its challenges. Her relationship with Antony drew the ire of Rome, particularly from Octavian, Julius Caesar's adopted heir. Octavian's propaganda machine painted Cleopatra as a foreign seductress, manipulating Antony to her will, a narrative designed to turn Roman public opinion against them. This portrayal was a stark contrast to the reality of Cleopatra's political acumen and Antony's voluntary alliance. But it served Octavian's purposes well, laying the groundwork for a confrontation that would decide the fate of the ancient world. The tension culminated in the infamous Battle of Actium in 31 BCE, a naval engagement that pitted the forces of Antony and Cleopatra against those of Octavian. As the fleets clashed in the waters off the coast of Greece, the outcome hung in the balance. Cleopatra, ever the strategist, had positioned her ships at the rear, poised to either join the fight or retreat if the tides turned against them. When Antony's forces began to falter, Cleopatra made the fateful decision to withdraw, taking her fleet and her future into her own hands. This retreat has been the subject of much historical debate, seen by some as a betrayal and by others as a calculated move to preserve her power. Despite the defeat at Actium, Cleopatra's resolve remained unshaken. She returned to Alexandria, where she prepared for the inevitable Roman advance. Her final days were marked by a flurry of activity as she sought to secure the future of her children and her kingdom. Cleopatra's legacy was not just in her political maneuvers, but in her enduring influence on the cultural and historical landscape of Egypt and beyond. Her children, particularly Caesarion, represented the continuation of her dynasty and her ambitions. Cleopatra endeavored to protect them from the wrath of Rome, negotiating with Octavian in a bid to secure their safety. Her final acts were those of a mother and a queen, driven by the same indomitable will that had defined her reign. As we stand at the threshold of the final chapter in Cleopatra's life, we see a ruler undiminished by defeat. A woman whose intellect and charisma have left an indelible mark on history. Her story is not merely one of power and politics, but of resilience and vision, a testament to the enduring legacy of a queen who dared to defy the constraints of her time. With each passing moment, the sands of history shift, revealing more of the complex tapestry of her life, drawing us ever deeper into the enigmatic world of Cleopatra. In the twilight of her reign, Cleopatra stood against the inexorable tide of Roman power, a solitary figure girded by the resilience and cunning that had defined her life. As Octavian's legions closed in on Alexandria, the city braced for a siege, the air heavy with anticipation and dread. Cleopatra, undeterred by the encroaching forces, employed every diplomatic tool at her disposal to negotiate a favorable outcome. She was acutely aware that her options were dwindling. Amidst the political turmoil, Cleopatra's personal life was also in upheaval. Her relationship with Mark Antony, once a potent alliance, had become a tragic romance. The pair grappled with the impending fall of their dreams. Antony, despondent and demoralized by the defeat at Actium, struggled to maintain his army's morale. Cleopatra, ever pragmatic, continued to operate with strategic precision. She fortified the city and prepared for any possibility. The final confrontation came with a series of skirmishes in and around Alexandria. Despite her best efforts, the Egyptian forces were no match for the seasoned Roman legions. Antony, driven by desperation and a sense of impending doom, launched a final, ill-fated attack on Octavian's forces. His defeat marked the end of the military resistance and sealed the fate of Cleopatra's kingdom. In a moment of despair, believing Cleopatra had already perished, Antony took his own life with his sword, a tragic end to a storied career. When Cleopatra learned of his death, she was inconsolable, yet her resolve remained unbroken. Even in grief, she plotted her next steps, aware that her own life and the future of her children hung in the balance. With Octavian's forces occupying Alexandria, Cleopatra retreated to her mausoleum, a monumental structure she had commissioned, reflecting both her wealth and her awareness of her mortality. It was here that she made her final stand, attempting to negotiate with Octavian to secure a future for her children. Cleopatra's eldest son, Caesarion, was a particular focus of her concerns. His lineage posed a direct threat to Octavian's claim to power. Despite her efforts, Octavian's word was as strategic as it was deceptive. Soon Caesarion was captured and executed, a decisive blow to Cleopatra's line. In her final days, Cleopatra took measures to ensure that her legacy would endure beyond her physical demise. She adorned herself in her royal regalia, a final act of defiance against the conqueror. Her death, whether by the legendary asp or another method, remains shrouded in mystery. A fitting conclusion to a life steeped in intrigue and myth. Cleopatra's passing marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the beginning of Roman Egypt. Yet her influence continued to resonate through the ages. In the centuries that followed, her life became the subject of countless works of art, literature, and scholarly discourse. Her image, manipulated by those who sought to diminish her accomplishments, transformed her into a symbol of both seduction and sovereignty. Despite the narrative crafted by her Roman adversaries, Cleopatra's true legacy lies in her intellect, her political acumen, and her unwavering determination. She was a ruler who understood the power of image and rhetoric, wielding her voice as skillfully as any weapon, and leaving an indelible mark on the annals of history. The echoes of Cleopatra's reign can still be felt today, a testament to the enduring allure of a queen who defied convention. Her life serves as a reminder of the complexities of power and the intricacies of diplomacy, the enduring strength of a woman who dared to challenge her fate. As the sands of time continue to shift, Cleopatra remains an enigmatic figure, a queen whose story is written not just in the stone monuments she left behind, but in the hearts and minds of those who continue to be inspired by her legend. The legacy of Cleopatra endures,